Sada imamo predavanje koje je ovako vezano za nešto što je oduvek postojalo, oduvek bilo aktuelno, ali tek u zadnje vreme je zaista dobilo jednu jedinstvenu notu, a to je preduzetništvo, dakle biznis i preduzetništvo. Sa nama će biti predstavnici EU biznis škole koja ima kampuse u 3 zemlje, dakle u Nemačkoj, Španiji i Švajcarskoj. Danas su sa nama predstavnici kampusa iz Švajcarske koji će nam se za 5 minuta pridružiti i moći ćemo da započnemo našu sesiju vezano za preduzetništvo. Sačekajte nas 5 minuta i vidimo se na platformi. Evo nas na jednom zanimljivom predavanju. Hi Maria. Hi Shuda.
Hello.
So I made a short introduction, but I will repeat it in English now. So today we will host 2 representatives of EU Business School from Switzerland campus, and we will discuss in more detail about business studies with a focus on entrepreneurship. Today with us is Shuda Chakravarti. Did I say it right?
That's perfect.
Head of research at EU Business School, and Maria Lazarev-Živković, a coordinator at Montreux campus at EU Business School as well. Welcome to our virtual event, Careers of the Future. I hope you like our platform. You had the opportunity to check it out a bit.
Yes, thank you so much, Joanna. I mean, the platform is great and happy to be here.
Happy to have you on our event. We will start with some basic things. Maybe the first question is, EU Business School is, of course, school focused on business studies, different sectors of business studies, but how this school makes closer to the real business world, how your students through their study program achieve to really feel the connection with a true business world in different areas of business, and to really learn skills in need for their future career paths.
Maria, you want to take this first?
Yes, I would like to take this. Jovana, thank you for the introduction. Just a slight, a small remark. Although I know you are perfectly fluent in Serbian, my last name is Živanović. It's not Živković.
Oh, Živanović, sorry.
Don't worry. Don't worry. I guess it's more important to concentrate on Suda's last name.
Yes.
Thank you for the question. And I would like to start with something that really profoundly touched me recently, both as an academic and someone who is who finds that the education is the most important thing we have left. And it's a quote from Saint-Exupéry, who is the writer of The Little Prince that we probably all know. And he says that the only true luxury in this world is the human relations. I think that in EU Business School, what I found as a coordinator, as someone who's been working both in the teaching and in managing the campus, is the quality of the human relations and the importance we put on that with regards to the business, because business is working with people. We can teach skills, we can learn things, we can advise, we can mentor, but it's very important to grow the soft skills. And I see that recently there is more and more focus on emotional intelligence, on empathy. Suda, for example, is an excellent example of someone who is educated in international relations, but who also puts a lot of focus in his teaching and in personalizing his teaching for every student, in the sense that they need to grow both as individuals, leaving their home environment, coming to a new environment that is always a bit tricky to adapt in, but also working as a team with people that we don't necessarily choose, as we do in life. We don't choose the family either. So that's something that I've noticed, given the size of the campuses, that is, let's say, a healthy size of the campus where students know each other, where they know lecturers very well, where we can develop programs that are very personalized, where we can develop timetables that are tailor-made for the students. So that's something I think that is very important to underline, and that's something that I have observed. I have more to say, but I will let Suda say something on this topic, and then we will move on.
Thank you, Giovanna, again, and thank you, Maria, for that excellent introduction to EU Business School. I'll be quick on this point. How is your question is, how is entrepreneurship reflected at EU Business School? So one is, we are private. So of course we are, and we have to be reflective of what is required in the market. And it's not just a germane point that we make. We have to be in the sense of our institutional strategy. So, and that is reflected at every level. So from strategy making to who's involved, how do we come up with courses? You will have a blend from our teaching staff, of course, from our faculty, a good blend of academics as well as practitioners. But of course, practitioners with good pedagogical knowledge. That's that. Now, what I want to focus on primarily from the entrepreneurship point, particularly Maria, you're based in Montreux and Geneva, but Switzerland, 99% of businesses are SMEs. Okay, so I mean, Geneva is a financial center, it's a global financial center. For the size of the city it is, it's very small, but still it's a powerhouse. But even then, 99% and more of businesses in Switzerland remain small and medium enterprises with less than 250 people, very similar to that in Germany. So this is the main, what they call the Mittelstand, the main bulwark of our economy. And that's extremely, extremely niche. So if you look at the Swiss regulatory system from the government perspective, the education system, it favors innovation and entrepreneurship. So we have extremely liberal policies from the state to education to any other tertiary levels. So that would be my first initial comments. I'll wait for your questions.
Okay, students develop their entrepreneurial spirit during their studies. As Maria told me when we were preparing this for this panel, she said, like, our president, the founder of EU Business School, is an entrepreneur. So definitely the school has this profile of really tackling the entrepreneurial spirit. But what studies abroad environment actually does for an individual who is coming and studying business with some idea to be an entrepreneur one day?
Do you want to answer, Suda, or should I?
Please go ahead first. We can do this.
Yeah, great. Yes, we'll animate better. One thing also that I would like to raise, and that is constantly, let's say, repetitive in the past few years, is that Switzerland wins in the competitiveness report. It's always a top country. So in terms of the competitiveness of the businesses, and in terms of the mentality and the culture, as Suda mentioned, what I find also particularly interesting here is that they're very supportive over their market, over their businesses. They will buy products that are more expensive, but they're Swiss, because they do understand, and it's in the core, it's in their DNA, that's how you survive. So you support your own country, you support your businesses, your local businesses, and this is how everybody grows. And that's something that our students here can feel and learn practically. Also, you mentioned our president, who is an entrepreneur par excellence. The way he talks, the way he sees opportunities, the way his eyes shine when he talks to the students or to any of us, he sees the opportunities and he puts them in practice. And when you have the students and the employees in such an environment, this is what actually boosts the energy and is quite supportive over different types of actions, tactics, strategies in business. So that's one thing. The other thing is also, as Suda mentioned, we have the school that is founded by and run by the family. So again, SMEs. Our school is an excellent example of a, let's say, small or medium-sized company that has grown healthily in an intelligent way. And we have campuses in Barcelona, in Munich, in Geneva, and Montreal. So strategically very interesting, very inspiring for the students, the multitude of campuses, the vibrant cities, the stability, safety, and innovation of Switzerland, for example. And that's something that, that brings a true value to the academic journey of the students.
Okay, Shoda?
Maria, I will just continue. I wouldn't repeat the points. I mean, Maria made some excellent points, but I'll focus on the study abroad bit, not the entrepreneurship bit. So let's just look at Geneva again. Okay, it's a city-state, and the population is about 500,000, and the city in itself is 1.5 million. So much smaller than Belgrade. Huh? But even within that, we have 40 international organizations. Now, 40 might sound less, but it is the most in the world. Okay, in terms of representation. This is international Geneva. Geneva is not the capital, but we have 177 consulates and embassies represented because of the UN, etc. We have more than 430 NGOs. So here I'm not even going into the business side. So this is international Geneva. It is also a center for finance and trading. So most of the coffee, I know in Serbia you love your coffee, but most of the coffee is actually traded from Geneva. And Geneva trades actually more coffee than chocolate and cheese, which Switzerland is actually known for. Okay. And of course, we have the excellent watch brands and etc. that is representative of Geneva, but these are not the only things that Geneva is actually known for. So study abroad, if I have to just talk about Switzerland, and again, Geneva, Montreux is very close. So you're in the same area. The biggest thing is the social capital. You're going to meet people from all walks of life, from different places with different experience. The first conversation is always, where you're from. Okay. So, and everybody wants to be here. Of course, this is Switzerland. It is the most innovative country in the world. It is beautiful. So yeah, in terms of choosing a location, whether for, let's say, international studies or even for business and entrepreneurship, it doesn't get any much better in Europe. So,
okay. So what would be the perfect candidate profile in your opinion? Like the perfect candidate profile for your business school in Switzerland? How would you describe, Maria?
We have campus in Geneva and campus in Montreal. What is great about them is the flexibility and the diversity. So a perfect candidate is someone who is really happy to come and learn and enjoy the variety of programs that we can offer, and someone who wants to grow in that entrepreneurial and business sense. And I think it's now more important than ever. The things have changed drastically, and we have to reinvent ourselves. We have to adapt to changes that we are not even aware of fully. What I find particularly interesting is that, for example, in the recent years, regarding the profiles of the students from all over the world, how much English skills have improved, for example. So I'm addressing all the students, for example, who are questioning their English skills. Am I really ready for that? Can I do it? I think you can. I think you can. Plus, here we take particular care of those who need some support in English. Given the size of the campus, we can do so. And we are very attentive. Suda is, again, an excellent example in providing that kind of support. A perfect candidate. If we're talking about bachelor studies, it would be someone who is motivated, someone who wants to grow, someone who is questioning the traditional forms of education, someone who is questioning to be too focused and not really giving an opportunity to grow in variety of ways. And this is where I think we give that opportunity of selecting pathways and yet having a lot of opportunities to learn other things that can make you grow in other forms. We have, I don't know whether we will talk about that later, but our students can hear a lot of experiences from the top CEOs. I don't know whether I should speak about that now or maybe a little bit later, but this is what also helps them in recognizing their own needs. It's very difficult when you're 17 or 18 to decide what you want to do for the rest of your life. And what has changed in the last 20 years is that people do not choose a career for the rest of their lives. They do for 10 years, they do for 5 years, they change the country, they change the continent, they change the career. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. But you grow the spirit of the entrepreneur. And that's something I think that's the profile that you shouldn't be scared of.
Definitely. I will mention later, of course, Learning from Leaders program, because I think it's amazing. But now maybe Shuda, you want to add something on
Yes,
Maria's.
I will add as a faculty member. So I teach also as head of research, and I teach mainly all the international affairs and some of the business subjects. I would say for the bachelors, simple, come with an open mind. That's it. Okay. Because again, it's not just about saying come with an open mind, but these days, as we see, no matter what you plan, careers are becoming very nonlinear. Right. So you start with something, you come as interested, I'm only interested in marketing. And then you say, no, wow, Geneva is known for fintech and we move to fintech, etc. So come with an open mind. Don't come with like, this is exactly what I want to do or something like that, because this is going to be an experience. Now, we say come with an open mind, but we back it by giving exactly what Maria mentioned in terms of the personalized support. And this is at least what the EU Business School is very, very well known for. So we tailor make things, we make it around the student. So the focus is on student and the focus is on skill building. Okay, so it's one of our main missions and values, which is also on our website. We look at ourselves as being transformational. So can we take a student from anywhere in the world? So whether it's from Serbia, whether it's from my country in India, whether it's from Switzerland, can we make them global ready? Can we give them skills? Okay, that can be actually transacted in the market. At the same time, of course, having the right values, having the right education, etc., etc. So yes, come with a very open mind. That's it.
Well, very good point there. Maria mentioned when we were preparing for the panel a couple of programs of EU Business School. One of them is Learning from Leaders, and another one is actually connected to entrepreneurship. And I maybe want us to hear more what is the concept behind and how these programs benefit to your students.
Should I let you talk about Learning from Leaders, and then I will cover the Youth Entrepreneurship Program?
Sure. So Learning from Leaders is just one aspect of it, and is one of those big aspects. And this has been very successful. We started that just after the pandemic, but before that, we used to have a similar platform for industrial visits and etc. Now, if you can just give me a minute, I'll just explain the whole concept to you. And the rationale behind this is basically how do you position yourself as a 21st century business school. Okay, so if you look at traditional universities, you have the university and the faculty in one bubble. You have the students and you have the market. And the universities have always played the interlocutor, the knowledge gap between the university and the students, and the skills gap between the students and the market. So the university has always been, the connecting factor. So what we have tried to do is blend all these three bubbles together, integrate them. Okay, so if we say we are a business school of the 21st century and we build skills, okay, we can promise whatever we want, but the delivery of that requires that actually the market, so business, as Maria was mentioning with our leaders and etc., they are very much involved. Okay, not maybe in the day-to-day teaching. Or of course, we have a lot of faculty members who have this thing, but they're involved at a strategic level in terms of what is actually required in the market. So we actually we have a very good hand on the pulse with the market. And with learning for the Learning for Leaders program, etc., that also gives an opportunity for students to learn from real experiences of global CEOs. Okay, and that has been extremely, bringing the market to the classroom. And it just doesn't end there. So we use that as case studies. We bring that into our classrooms. We use, teaching notes from those aspects. We have mentorship programs, etc. So it's not just you come here, we teach you marketing, finance, accounting, etc. to a very good level, and you're out. But you have absolutely no exposure to what's happening out there. What kind of a skill do you need? And I think, Maria, you focused on soft skills. I won't even say soft, those are essential skills these days. And that's extremely important. Okay, so you can always find people who are good marketeers or good financiers or to whatever else. We are looking at creating students who are holistic and who are transformational. Okay, so Maria, I'll let you answer about the young entrepreneurial program.
Well, thank you for the learning from leaders. I would just like to mention, maybe it's interesting to have the examples of the Suda, the presenters we had at Learning from Leaders. You probably know them even more because you've been longer at EU Business School, but there are people who are very inspirational for our students with a very long experience, people who were founders of the biggest multinational corporations, or people who were CEOs for over 10 or 20 years of Nestle. And there was even a former president of Switzerland who was one of our guest lecturers, which was very motivating and inspirational for the students. And we take a lot of care of keeping these contacts. And I think it works both sides. I think also for these people, it's very important to see what impact it makes on the students, and it brings value to both. It's a win-win. Regarding the program that we are starting now in Montreal campus, we're very excited about it, and it's called, we decided to call it the Young Entrepreneurs Program. So we are starting it this month, and we want to involve all our students from the different semesters and different years. We will have the faculty that will be responsible of animating and organizing the program. And what we also find, based on our experience of all of us as academics, is that this vertical education is very successful. What does it mean? It means that students that work with other students from other cohorts, for example, the students that are in the final semester or graduating and work with the first semester, they speak the same language. This is where they can transfer and exchange a lot, and they can actually communicate in a way that is that looks. It looks like we are doing the same thing, but it actually functions even better when it's in their reference group. So we will be doing that, and we will have a lot of different projects with the local companies, with the multinational companies. The faculty who will be in charge is a very experienced academic who has published a lot, but he's also an entrepreneur, and he's an architect. So this will also help students not only in having great ideas, but really putting them together, going through difficulties in placing the product, doing feasibility studies, and then once completing and seeing that you can actually do something like that, that you can be proud of, even as a student. It also helps in creating the taste for the startups. So very early, while you're a student, you can already see that it's possible. We had students that have started their companies while studying. So they were busy running the company and studying at the same time. So that's also, it's great to see. I think it's what makes this job great, and it's what makes the students' life and experience here in Switzerland, in Montreal and in Geneva great. And another reason why we want to start this program is that we know that for the students, one of the questions they ask is, can we work in Switzerland? Can we get the work experience in Switzerland? Yes, you can. Okay. And we can help with that.
So your school covered really two important aspects. So learning from experienced people who are in the industry, and then learning from your peers and making like the good basis for startups, developing idea on your level with your peers. And maybe for the closure of our panel, I would like to point out a few, let's say, things that one entrepreneur has to have. First of all, self-esteem, being adaptive and knowledgeable. Would you like to point out something else? I mean, definitely when you have personal approach, like your school offers that actually to the students, what else you think they end up with when they graduate? Like what is the thing that they really take home to their home countries or whatever they find job afterwards?
Maria, you want me to go first?
I think I'm talking too much, no?
No.
No.
Okay, let me go first, then I'll let you.
I like listening to you, Sudha. I will add after if there is anything else, but go ahead.
No, then let me just focus from the teaching aspect. So, and then, you can do it from the institutional side. From the teaching side, there are two things that we really harp on. One is, if you're talking from the entrepreneurial side, can you take back to your home country, etc. And what is the main message? If you want to be a great entrepreneur and you want to be innovative, you have to be able to take risks and you have to be able to break rules. Okay. Now that means, now that's easy. That's easy to basically, you can preach about this, but what does it mean? We focus on building leaders. Yes, we are a management school, but management is very different from leadership. We also are in the business of creating leaders. And hence, it's not just the subject matter, it's not just the networks that we give you. We also expect you to learn from your peers. You're also a part of the big EU network, which is, we call it the One Network, with more than 30,000 alumni, etc. And some of them are also in the learning from leaders. Maria, you just mentioned, I think the manager of, the CEO of Manchester City, okay, and he's one of our alumni, and you get to learn from him. So that is one aspect, if you really want to take your skills out there. Okay, so we want you to be able to break rules. We want you to be able to take risks, but also in a very, very mitigated way. And from a business point of view, these days, one of the issues we have is we look at rankings everywhere. Ranking of the best company, best product, this, that, and the thousands of them, best restaurants in the world. One of the focuses, at least that I emphasize on my students, don't play that finite game. Okay, everybody's playing that finite game. I'm the best. It means absolutely nothing. You're the best now. Okay, it's like saying I'm successful in life, maybe now. Okay, or I'm successful in marriage, maybe now. Okay, like life, business is an infinite game. That means the players are not known. There are thousands of different permutations that can happen. So you have to be ready. You have to be adaptive. You have to be a leader in that. Okay, so yes, you get the hard skills and everything else, but also the most essential skills of being that kind of a leader. So this is exactly what we focus on. And that's why you can take our students to La Paz in Bolivia. You can take them to Ulaanbaatar in Mongolia. It does not matter. Okay, because the skills are very, very global. That's what we focus on. Maria.
Okay.
Thank you, Sudha. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with everything. I would just like to add, recently I referred again to Sudha, blue ocean and red ocean strategy. And the difference in approaching life. There are people who are competitive. There are people who have that in their spirit, who want to win, who want get up in the morning if there is no battle to win. And there are others who are not, and that's fine. And that's great. If we were all fighting and taking knives and wanting to win, there will be a lot of wars. And at the end, if we start killing each other in the competition, there won't be any fun anymore. So it's good to have the balance. And that balance we can also provide and we can nurture. There are students who come with different nature. We have students that are extremely sensitive and artistic, And this is very, very welcome, because in the businesses, in the teamwork, in even in the marriage that Sudha referred to, you need to have a balance, an equilibrium. So students who have certain skills that are not necessarily maybe required in the management books are actually very, very much needed, very much recognized. And on top of what they already have, they can build their business skills in collaboration with the others. Again, I'm underlining a very important thing, a very important comfort that we have is that we are small and we can afford to recognize and look after these specific needs of the students and again, provide tailor-made activities and programs for them.
Okay. And since we don't have much time, I would just shortly point out, so EU Business School has 3 campuses. So it's Barcelona, it's Munich, and in Switzerland, there are like Geneva and Montreux. Why Switzerland? Maybe it's not fair to other campuses, but I think it's maybe important to stress out why Switzerland is the location for business.
How many reasons do you want?
Well, you have 2 minutes at most.
2 minutes, Maria. You want to start, Maria?
First of all, I love Switzerland. I'm really in love with Switzerland, but that's not the only reason why one should study there, right? But maybe you can tell more than one.
Okay. I mean, of course, it is beautiful. There's no doubt about it. It's got fantastic opportunities even in terms of leisure. Okay, so summer and winter, we are known for our lakes, for our mountains in winter. So if you are into sports, any kind of sports, everything is very accessible. Everything is very close by. We have the best, let's put it this way, ski stations, etc. Ground transportation system is fabulous. We have amazing gastronomy and, also the, tradition of hospitality in Switzerland that is long known. And of course, there are many more reasons. You can go into political reasons. So our politics does not change. We have a very different consensus model. So it doesn't matter who's the president. Nobody knows who the president is. We have 7 of them. They rotate every year. So everything is very stable. Everything is very, very based on consensus. And it's just beautiful. So yeah, that would be my thing of Switzerland. Apart from the salaries and the taxes and everything, that's awesome.
And Maria, you are in Switzerland for how many years now?
26. I think it's a bit more than half of my life. 25 or 26.
So tell us a couple of reasons from your point of view.
Well, Jovana, you have answered it. You said love. And love is the engine. And if you love it, it's something that is not visible. It's something that is abstract, but it's very strong and it's true. And in love, you have safety. In love, you have security. In love, you have self-esteem. You have ways to grow. And with everything that Sudha mentioned as hard facts, I think we can support why you love it and why I love it and why we are here. The students that I know have graduated and left Switzerland, or my friends who studied here with me and left Switzerland, they all come back. Some come back to stay and they hope to stay. And others come back and when they leave, they're very nostalgic.
Yes.
I hope many students will have an opportunity to come study here and understand why it makes it so special.
Thank you both for a lovely conversation. I personally learned a lot about the school, about the system, about the entrepreneurship that you teach students. And I hope we'll send many students to your campus in Montreux and Geneva, and hope to see you in Belgrade soon then.
Thank you, Jovana. Okay. Thank you for having us. It was a lovely conversation, and we hope we not only I think publicize Switzerland, but also EU Business School, the other campuses and everything. They're equally good. Also our locations in Munich and Barcelona. Just a quick one. I won't take more than 10 seconds. We spoke about flexibility, etc. We also have the flexibility of moving between campuses. So yes, if you want to do a summer term, and we are open during summer, if you want to speed things up, Barcelona sounds very good in summer. You can move to Barcelona, complete your term there, and come back again to Switzerland, etc. So this is one of the flexibility we give. Also, you will get different networks in Barcelona and in our Munich campuses, and it depends on the student. So the more you want to grow, it's something like gardening. The more you put in, the more you get back.
Okay, thank you both a lot, and we see each other, I hope, soon on the platform maybe. Have a great day and enjoy it.
Thank you, Jovana, for your professional and fantastic organization.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.